What's going on, guys, and welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where every single week I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original programming that I watch on the WWE Network as well as on the USA Network, because today we're talking Season 1, Episode 2 of Miz and Mrs. And now, if you checked out my original review of the series premiere last week, you would know that I was not all that impressed. I found it to be a bit dumb. I mean, in a way, it kind of set the tone for the season and kind of knowing what the show is all about, knowing that it's overly scripted, like even more so than Total Divas and Total Bellas. So I knew what I was getting into. I am a Maurice fan. I am a Miz fan. I'm a fan of their marriage. So I am willing to stick it out through the remainder of the season, if only to review it here for the channel. But I know what we're getting into with the remainder of the season. This episode was no exception. Pretty dumb overall, but some fun moments interspliced in between. Some great cameos in the final few minutes as well. Do want to preface this real quick, before we kick off my review of the show. I have my fan on in the background, and it is so fucking hot as I record this review. I'm recording this late Tuesday night. This won't be going up till Friday. I'm recording it right after watching it on Tuesday night, and it is so fucking hot here in the Northeast. Have to have my fan on in the background because sometimes I record stuff like for WrestleRant Radio or for hashtag, and I turn the fan off. Usually I do because it does create some noise in the background. Not a lot, but some. I usually do turn it off, and by the end of my recording session, I am sweating bullets, and I cannot do that. It is almost midnight here on the East Coast, Tuesday night, so I need to keep the fan on in the background. So I apologize if that creates any annoying background noise, but nonetheless, this is my review of Season 1, Episode 2 of Miz and Mrs. Miz Takes the Cake. We kick things off with Miz and Maurice showing Maurice's mom the implied nude photo shoot pictures, and she is just having a ball with it. She is just laughing her ass off. She accuses Miz of not having an ass. She's like, oh, your ass doesn't touch your knees, which means you doesn't have an ass, or whatever her fucking accent is. We also find out that Maurice's mom, I think her name is Marjo, but I'll call her Maurice's mom. Maurice's mom visits LA and visits Miz and Maurice and stays with them for 6 months out of the year. Anyway, so Miz and Maurice want to go all out for the baby shower. This is Maurice's first baby shower. It's also going to be their last party in the LA residence. So they really want to give people a lasting memory of what that place was for so many years for them. They really want to go out on a high note. So they go cake shopping. They find a cake that is almost $1,000 fucking dollars. Not a sheet cake. I forgot what it was called, but like a 3-tier cake, $1,000, $90 for delivery. It's ridiculous. Maurice is not really about getting the best deal. She wants to go out and get the best of anything. Not what's the best deal, but just the best period. So Miz, to prove a point, goes out on his way home with Maurice, buys a bunch of cheap Valentine's Day stuff, a big bear, a bunch of flowers, for relatively cheap, showing that you can get good stuff for a low amount of money, for the minimal amount of money. So we find out kind of Miz and Ziggler kind of talk about their friendship. We kind of go back and see how far they go back as friends very briefly. Apparently Miz said that they used to live 6 minutes apart without even knowing when they first grew up, which is pretty crazy. Anyway, so Maurice and the moms, Miz's mom and Maurice's mom, all prepare for the baby shower. Like I said, it is their last party in the LA house. So they want to go all out for this thing. Maurice is drained. She's pregnant. She's having so many people over. She's practically putting this thing together all by herself. So she is so exhausted by this point. Miz, meanwhile, is busy picking up his dad from the airport. Miz's dad is a fucking national treasure. I love this guy. We did not get nearly enough of him in this episode, but it was still great to see him nonetheless. Miz's dad, unlike Maurice, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, loves to save money. The guy will do anything, like bringing Miz out to breakfast and get the kids deal. Even though the kid was fucking 15 years old by that point, he would do anything to save money, to spare a dime. So complete polar opposites are the Miz's dad and Maurice. So anyway, Miz sent someone to the house while all the people were there getting ready, and Maurice is just freaking out because Miz sent someone there to check up on the spa because it wasn't functioning or something. Maurice is not happy about this. She feels super overwhelmed. She's like, if you're not here in 10 minutes, I'm locking the door on your ass. You better be here ASAP. So Miz and Mrs. Dad decide to pick up the cake instead of having it delivered to the house because they want to save a fucking buck. They want to not spend the $90, which, I mean, I can't blame them. I would do the exact same thing. But you would think that in picking up the cake themselves, they would be more careful. They're not. So while in the car, they're on the phone with Maurice. They make an abrupt stop, and the cake just falls forward. Not the whole thing like falls apart, but the front part of it just kind of collapses and is all fucked up. And then when they try to fix it, the top falls off on the ground. So it has no top, and the side of it is all fucked up. And they don't clean it up either, which will play a bit of a factor a little later on. So anyway, we find out the original cake, like I said, was $1,000. Miz, in order to give Maurice the perfect baby shower, offers to pay fucking double for that, for another cake, plus another $200 for shipping. So altogether, they paid $3,000 for this fucking cake. Money that could have gone towards their freaking kids' college fund someday, but instead they're spending it on a cake. On a cake. $3,000 and then some change for the delivery and shit on a cake, which is ridiculous. So anyway, they are late getting back to the house because of the whole cake issue and picking it up and having it delivered and whatever. So they don't pick it up themselves. Miz said, "I'll pay you double for if you get it there as quick as possible. If you can make the cake today," they say, "Deal." So Miz and Mrs. Dad go back to the house, and Mrs. Dad goes, "Oh, we got stuck in traffic." Miz gets super upset, like, "What the fuck you doing, Miz? Like, I've been here all by myself. I'm getting super overwhelmed here. There's so many people here. What the hell's going on?" So the cake gets delivered ultimately. Maurice is not freaking out any longer, and Miz gets a better cake. He ends up getting the cake that Maurice wanted in the first place, the more expensive one, and she's super happy with it. Miz is happy. She's happy. Everyone's happy. The party goes well, and there's a lot of familiar faces at this party. First of all, Avril frickin' Lavigne is at this party. Apparently, she's friends with Miz Maurice, which is pretty crazy. Avril Lavigne, Dennis Haskins, I think is his name. The guy from Saved by the Bell, which I knew he was good friends with Miz, but the guy's at the party, which is pretty crazy. John Morrison makes an appearance, which is super cool. Johnny Mundo. Dolph Ziggler is obviously there. Dana Brooke is there. Rosa Mendez makes an appearance. And a bunch of others. James Roday. Spencer from Psych is at this fucking party. So which is great. I popped big at that. I didn't know they were as good as I did not think they were that good of friends, Miz and James Roday, but I know they were good friends from their time on Psych and on James Roday being a wrestling fan. So great to see the Psych star back on Miz and Mrs. I thought this episode was a thumbs up, if only for the appearance of James Roday towards the end here. So anyway, Miz finds out about the first cake getting ruined after Mrs. Mom, or Maurice's mom. There's a lot of M's here. Maurice's mom finds out how, I have no idea. Probably a producer told her, a fucking cameraman, I don't know. But Maurice's mom finds out. She tells Maurice, and Maurice is like, "Oh, we're gonna, he thinks he's so smart. He thinks he's the best guy. Like, I'm such a great guy. No, you're fucking bullshitting me. I find out about everything." Newsflash, people, women find out about everything. So don't try to hide anything. They're gonna find out eventually. May not be now, may not be later, but eventually they will find out. So anyway, Maurice goes back in the house. They face off in some baby shower games, do Miz and Maurice. Ultimately, Team Maurice wins. Miz has to kind of face the facts, and then Maurice is better than him at the baby shower games. Maurice gets emotional about the LA house and how we've had a lot of memories here. I don't want to leave it behind, but it's full steam ahead for Austin, and we're kind of moving full steam ahead for the Austin household, and they're going to move in there with their new baby and create new memories there as well. So Maurice's mom, as a gift to Miz and Maurice for the baby shower, gets them a framed photo, the fucking implied nude photo shoot picture that we saw at the start of this episode, which is so ridiculous. Everyone has fun at Miz. I was going to say Miz and Maurice's, but solely Miz's expense. He's not getting a great laugh out of this, but he deserves it after what he pulled earlier on in this episode with the fucking cake. So Maurice confronts Miz about the cake. He owns up to it. And he asks her, despite that, did you have the perfect baby shower? And she says yes. So my recording cut off at that point. I'm not sure if there was more. I think the episode was ending anyway. I don't know what the next episode's about. I'm kind of scared to find out. But I will be reviewing it right here on Network and Chill for next week. So anyway, guys, thank you for checking out the show. As always, I appreciate it. Season 1, Episode 2 of Miz and Mrs. Miz Takes the Cake. So be sure to like the video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share the video as well. All that stuff is greatly appreciated. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. The Total Bellas reviews are finished. Season 3 is a wrap. So for Network and Show moving forward, at least for right now, it will be anything airing on the network after Raw. in addition to new episodes of Miz and Mrs. In probably on Fridays, sometimes on Wednesdays. I'll probably have the network, whatever airs in the network after Raw, I'll probably have those reviews up by Tuesday or Wednesday, and then have the Miz and Maurice, the Miz and Mrs., reviews up by Friday. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, subscribe for more content. If you want to get the first notification when videos go up, subscribe today. So anyway, guys, have a great one. Thanks for bearing with me here and getting through the fan in the background. It's so fucking hot right now. I got to go take a shower. I'll catch you guys down the road.